So I'm going to introduce our host now from iExec. We're going to have Yamin, who is coming onto the stage now. So please give us a virtual round of applause in the chat and say hello to Yamin and Lewis.
Hello, everyone. My camera is a bit...
You do look rather squashed there, I'm not going to lie.
I think that's going to be okay for this. Let's go with it. So welcome, everybody, and hello to everyone joining from all over the world. So before I begin, as just mentioned by Luke, everything that is here will be recorded and available to listen back at any time. So just to present ourselves, to assist me today, we have Luis Carlos, who is our application support engineer, and he will soon present.
Happy to be here.
And he will soon present you our tools with the live demo. My name is Yamin. I'm the developer relations engineer at iExec. So what is iExec? Who are we? The company was created by Web3 OGs in 2016, which became the biggest French ICO and number 6 worldwide. The initial goal of iExec was to offer a decentralized computing platform, enabling smart contract developers to run heavy workloads off-chain. We created this infrastructure and the technology, enabling privacy, ownership, and monetization in Web3 with the native token of the platform, who is called RLC, and that is listed in many exchanges. This is why iExec is unique, as it combines blockchain, confidential computing, and monetization systems all in one solution. So why did we make our DevTools? In Web2 today, user consent is often lacking, user privacy is compromised, and user data is monetized by unknown parties. And for Web3 communication, the only interface between DApps and users being the wallet, we wanted to create ways for DApp developers to communicate with their user base in a safe and easy manner. So we are going to present you all of this. I'll give the stage to Luis Carlos to present you our tools. Luis Carlos, welcome on stage.
Thanks, Yamin. I guess I'm on the side because I'm watching the screen here, but I'm here with you. I want to first, before starting to share my screen, which I can't actually, could you stop sharing your screen? Want to start by asking some open questions. There's no polls here, just to try to get the conversation going. Let us know what you think on the chat. First thing I want to say is, what will marketing be in Web3? Because we know that Web1 used to have how many page visits do you have? And now Web2, let's say, how many clicks happened on that? So what's happening in Web3 is, is it going to be how many transactions they're having? Or what is it going to be marketing in Web3 with there's like all these wallets and this data ownership? Because how do protocols really reach their users? You have like Uniswap and other protocols, and then what they see from their side is just addresses interacting with the protocol. And how are they able to make that link between a wallet and their email address? How are they going to let them know about some other opportunities, or even competitors to them? How are they reaching them? So that's really like how it's done. Like right now, for example, OpenSea, they let you sign in with your email address and they send you emails. But the problem here is that, for example, there's been some leaks and then you get all this undesired mail. And also another thing that happens right now is that you get sent spam NFTs with some stuff on them, like it's just a blank image with a text saying go and claim here, whatever. It's most of the time it's just scams. So what we're trying here is like trying to open up new ways that we can use to connect these wallets to other traditional mediums of communication. As you can see, for example, think of the latest trend, which is Friends Tech. And for those for those who are not aware, what they do is that they allow you to buy shares of this sort of influencer person on Twitter, and then you are allowed to get into a chat with this person, and so it creates some more of shared chat with this person, so you can get to know them, and then you can sell shares of this person and so on. There's another thing I'm thinking of, which is Soul Linked, which is a thing happening in Solana, which lets you send an email to a person, and this person replies to you, and then you have to pay them for them to reply to you. So if Yamin, I don't know, he's a really advanced person in confidential computing or something like that, I can send him an email asking him a question and paying him for him to reply to me. So this is new mediums that are being created where we're trying to see how is this really happening, how is this link happening between Web 2, Web 3, and all these different techs. So what I'm going to do is start sharing my screen. All right, then, and then I'm just going to have one little slide here to go over our developer tools, and really in a really concrete way. So what are they? They are two NPM packages in pure ECMAScript that you can integrate into your app, either by the browser or on the server side. They allow you to link an Ethereum address to an email address. And the important thing here is that, like I said previously, they usually send you spam MFTs and things like that. Whereas here, you are giving consent for the usage of the data. And I think that's a thing that's important that other protocols do not have when linking an Ethereum address to an email account. And also, we really try to abstract the complexity of trusted execution environments and all the things that let you keep your data private. So the two tools are one, DataProtector, which is going to let you mint an NFT that points to an encrypted file which contains your email address or any other data, such a file. And it's going to let you set up usage rules for the NFT. So basically, you're going to have to, you'll be able to rent this private data for each one of their usages. And the second tool that we developed for you is the Web3 mail, which is going to fetch the Ethereum address that gave you access to the data. We're going to look at the demonstration, how it really works, but in general, it's just going to fetch you these addresses that gave you access to the data, and you're going to see just the public part of it without actually seeing their email. And there's a logic part of it, which is going to send an email using an iExec task, and the task itself is going to make an API call. We'll go over that after, but it is sort of like a serverless function that is coded to do only this with other specific parameters. So now what I'm going to do is to go to, and you can also invite you to come in here and watch and join me in this demonstration. If you go to web3mail.iexec, and so I don't know if someone's sharing me the link on the chat. And in order for you to connect here, you're probably going to need to set up our sidechain connection. And for that, you can come to Chainlist. For those who don't know it, this website lets you have some pre-configured Ethereum chains, which you can just one click add to your MetaMask account. So it's going to set up everything here. So once you're connected, well, you're going to come here to this main page. So there's some people in the chat. If you're having issues with this, let us know. So what I have here, like as you can see, I have one screen here with address A, as I would call it, which is 026, and on this other screen I have 0 ADA. So this is the other address. So what I'm going to do here is click on protect your data, protect my data. I'm going to add, you can see, it can be either a file or an email address. what I'm going to do here is, for example, protect my email address. So I'm going to use one that I set up for this talk, which was this one. Check my GMX account that I just set up. So I'm going to put it here, and I'll just give it a name. I'm going to call it my GMX account. So now I'm clicking on protect my data, and this is doing two things. It's going to first create a transaction that's minting the NFT, the protected NFT. So in itself, it's going to be a file, an encrypted file. Oh, I need to sign. Sometimes it MetaMask does this thing with signatures, and I have to sign to share also this key that was generated on the fly. I'm going to share it with a key server that is also running on dedicated hardware that helps preserve the privacy. So I'm singing here, and then once I've done that, my data has been protected. We have here, for example, for those who are curious, go to the Explorer that we have, and there's several things here. It's a lot of information, but like I said, the actual encrypted file is located on IPFS. This is the address. I am the owner. There's the public information about it, but nothing is revealed as into my email address. Once I've done this, I can come back to my dashboard. And as you can see here, these are different confidential NFTs that I created. And then I'm going to click on one of them. This is my GMX account I just created. It has its own address. It's owned by me. And then what I'm going to do here is do the consent part, which is I'm going to add a new contact. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to paste the address of this other wallet, 26. And I'm going to allow this address to use my confidential data once. So this signature, again, what it is creating is signature of the usage of this data. This is going to be hashed on-chain in order to check whether or not I'm allowing this person or not to use the data. Once I've done that, what I have here is the person whom I allowed to message me. So if I come to this side, which was 26, so this is the person whom I just gave access to. I'm coming here to send email, and what it's going to do is going to fetch my contacts, and it's going to automatically go over the emails that the people let me see their data. So again, if you, for example, if you are doing this at the same time, and if you want to let me, if you want to share your email without sharing your email, and I'm going to go in the chat. Let's see. Wait. Just going to go in the chat and share, for example, my address. So what's going to happen is, as people come and subscribe and let me access their email, what I'm seeing here is not their actual email. What I'm seeing here is just an ETH address, which is public. So I think the important thing is here that this person is just giving the consent, which can also be revoked at any time. I can just click here and not let this person contact me again. I can let this person contact me only 10 times, for example. And most importantly, I can also set price in RC tokens to say, okay, if you really want to contact me, you will have to pay me this amount. So what I'm going to do now is going to send an email to this person who, on my side, I don't know what the email is. So we say hello from the workshop. So what it's going to do here again is going to create some signatures. First off, we need to push these two things, the subject and the content. The content, we're going to push them as secrets to our private key server that is running on dedicated hardware to preserve privacy. what I'm doing here is, for example, creating a request order was saying like, okay, I want to execute this. And as you can see, there are some different prices that are set up here, which are going to allow if the person, for example, had requested a payment of X tokens, is going to show up here saying, okay, I'm going to be paying this person for the use of the data. And then there's some other additional parameters that we used in order to launch the iExec application. So here it is just signing everything, all the information, making it, of course, more compressed so that not all of that information is on chain, but rather just some hash of all the things that we requested. And this thing here, when I just click on confirm, what it's going to do is to launch that execution. The email has been sent. So what's happening here, if I come back here, I'm just going to need another one. It is going to, I just launched the execution. It goes on the blockchain. It's going to check for governance rules saying, okay, is this data able to be run with this application logic? Is this person letting this other person use it? Is the hardware we're using, is it actually a dedicated hardware? So all of this information, it is, that's what's happening here. It's gonna fetch that Docker image that contains the logic, which you can check it out. It's open source. You can come and check it out. What's happening really. So this part is this Docker public. This part is public of the Docker image, and what is secret, what comes actually at runtime, is different environment variables that are coming that only can be seen during the execution. And this comes from the protected data that I showed you before, that come from IPFS. So it fetches everything in this protected box. It does what it was coded to do, and then it finishes. So if I come back here, check my inbox, I got my email, so I was able to contact this person without knowing their address. And so again, if I come back to send email as the other person, the consent has been consumed, so I cannot contact this person anymore. And then from here, again, it's going to check my protected data, my GMX account. This will be consumed. I'm going to request again, and then it's being consumed on this side too. If you want to learn more, what we're going to do, there's this documentation page, docs.iExec, and you can learn either about the protocol, but in this case, learn about the tools. We try to make it as easier as possible for you. We set up, for example, these functions that we saw together, this DataProtector. The cool thing is that we also set up this code sandbox where you can come and check it out on your own. Besides the demonstration that uses the methods, you can also check it out here on Code Sandbox. You can even help make it easier for you to copy some functions. It's the same thing that we just saw previously, but there's the code, so you can use it, you can reuse it to implement things easier. The methods that we saw together were basically, the main one is protect data, which all you need to do is, of course, first you install the package just as you would any other. As I said previously, is that it's an ESM package, so be mindful if you need some conversions, if you're using CommonJS and so on. So you instantiate it with the private key either on the server or on the client. So it's really easy to just call this function protect data and you send the email, and then what this is doing is going to encrypt that file. It's going to generate an encryption key, and it's going to encrypt it. It's going to push the data to IPFS. It's going to do all those things. It's going to mint the NFT. It's going to do all of this. It looks simple, but we just did the difficult part, so you can just come and use this one call here. There's more additional parameters that you might use. For example, if you want to encrypt a file, if you want to set up, for example, price on your execution. All of this is well documented here. I'm not going to go through all of this, but if you find some typos, so if something's not clear, please make sure to reach to us and we'll fix it, or we'll make it even more clear. The other methods that we have here is like grant access, which is the one that I just showed you, where I'm authorizing the usage of the data. You can revoke this usage. You can fetch the data, so just get the file back. And on this side, there's Web3 Mail, which has two methods. Again, there's a code sandbox. If you want to come and check it out. There's two methods: fetch my contacts, which is going to fetch the addresses of people who let me use their address, and the second one is send email, that launches the app. Cool thing here is that we're talking about, well, first one of the tools was to create a confidential data out of an email, but you can use it to encrypt any other personal data you like to use, or any other file that you think has value. So you can start to have your digital assets here and start to monetize them. On the other side, there's the Web3 Mail part, which is flexible in the sense that in this case we're using an API call. We're going there's a Docker image that's making an API call through Mailjet, but this app, as we call it, it's flexible in the sense that you can modify it and use a different SMTP server. For example, if you want to create your own logic that goes that's going to use this protected data. So in the case of me protecting an image, well, the logic, you have to code that logic that's gonna go together with the data. So it just has to go together, and you can customize it. And in this case, we made one that is easy to use for this case. I think got this covered, and I think now I want to talk to you about our bounty. I think this link should be shared with you too. You come here to Questbook bounty, and then you have to click here, program details. This opens up this file. I think it's also going to be shared with you on chat or somewhere else. So I'm not going to read this to you, of course, but as I was just talking to you, based on the discussion about monetizing and stuff, because friend.tech and this lab aren't only monetizing email addresses, but they're kind of monetizing themselves as people, as influencers, or as something that wasn't really possible before, in order for people to monetize their time, or their replies, or the answering of an email. So what we are proposing for this bounty is, for example, as I was saying, there's these different protocols like App, Uniswap, and so on, and they kind of they need to target their users for specific crypto assets. So the core of wars, there's these true protocols, or there's vampire attacks, and one wants to get the users of the others. What they do is usually they airdrop tokens or things like that. So what we want to make here is let users create the protected data with their email, and so that a protocol can come and then contact them. So one example of these pools, for example, one that I have, for example, I have my beacon with a Digen score, and for example, the cool thing about blockchain activity is that you can actually verify it. Like, you cannot say it is actually the fact that you're a user is shown on chain. Oh, it's not loading. Right. So there's this site called Digen Score, which basically creates pools or gives you sort of a classification based on your on-chain activity. So if you're a user, if you use Uniswap, then that can be seen on chain, and this creates this proof that you use it. So what the bounty is asking is for you to create these pools of different users. So for example, people who use DeFi, and then the protocols will be able to contact you based on that. So you have different categories. I know it's not. So what it does, yeah, like I said, there's this activity that can be seen on this person. If, for example, this person buys a lot of NFTs, it's going to give you like, okay, this wallet does a lot of buys a lot of NFTs. So you can start classifying these different addresses based on their activity. And what the bounty is asking you to do is check an email address, an Ethereum address, check their on-chain activity. You can base that on different tools, like, I don't know, DBank, DigenScore, or any other way that you can use to know what is the activity that this wallet is doing, and then classify them. Of course, the cool thing here is that the person is giving their consent of access. So let's say I'm a very good NFT trader, and I've done a lot of swaps on OpenSea. Well, that can be seen on chain. And I go to your app, the one that you're going to be building, and I go there and I'm going to set a price of $10 every time someone wants to message me, because I know that I'm worth being paid because I can prove that I'm a power user of OpenSea or something else. So this is really what it does. Let us know what you think. Be excited to check out your work projects, and I think that's all for me. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my name is Piggyback911, and thanks. I think I'll go to you, Yamin.
Thank you. I'll be sharing my screen again. So you've been presented our bounty earlier. The links have been shared in the chat. You will be able to actually submit bounty following the link for QuickBook, and have access to up to $6,000 to build your tool. We also have a grants program, which is described on our website, and allow for up to $100,000 in funding. So don't miss it. The link is also going to be shared. One of our current grantees is Talent Layer. So let me actually give you a second to take a picture of this to access our grants program for, as I said, $100,000, up to $100,000. And now, if it wants to go, okay. So Talent Layers have been working with us for the past couple months, and they have written a few articles on their experience so far. You can find that on the links that will be available in the PDF that is going to be shared later on. And I will invite you to fill up our feedback form to get your POAP and a chance to win a Ledger wallet if you accept giving us an hour-long interview. Thank you all for your attention during this workshop. We are looking forward to see you build on iExec platform, and see you soon. Bye.
Hello, everybody, and thanks so much to Yamin and Lewis for showing us everything there. Been a fantastic session. As I said at the start, I know some people had come in late. If you enjoyed the workshop, please do write comments in the chat. It'd be great to see some feedback. I know some of you came in a bit late, and so just to reiterate that you can go onto the schedule and you can rewatch this as soon as it's finished. And for those of you that are not watching live, sorry that you weren't here to be interactive today, but hopefully you're watching this on demand now as we speak. So we are going to move forward. There is going to be a little bit more networking, so you can talk to the iExec team if you're interested in talking to them. And there is a booth that you can go to find out more information. Thanks to the iExec team for putting this on today, and be sure to do some development for the bounty. We're really looking forward to seeing the results of this, and we hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody, and until next time, goodbye.